Paris. The city of light. Romance. Cafes. Midnight walks. But during the 1990s, young women living alone near the Bastille stopped sleeping peacefully. Because somewhere in the same streets, a man was hunting. He didn't hide in forests. He didn't flee the country. He lived among everyone else. And what makes this story disturbing isn't just the murders. It's this. Authorities had already arrested him before the killings began. This is the story of Guy Georges, and how modern Paris unknowingly created one of its most feared predators. Between 1991 and 1997, 7 women were raped and murdered across eastern Paris. Victims were students, professionals, independent young women living alone. The attacks followed a chilling pattern. He would follow victims home, gain entry through charm or force, bind them, assault them, then cut their throats. Police later confirmed identical forensic signatures across scenes. Residents began calling him La Bête de la Bastille, the Beast of the Bastille. Investigators later uncovered a deeply fractured childhood. Georges was abandoned as an infant by both parents and raised through foster institutions. By adolescence, he attempted to strangle foster sisters, committed violent assaults, displayed escalating sexual aggression. Psychiatrists described him in court as a narcissistic psychopath. One expert compared him to a cat catching birds through instinct. Not rage. Not revenge. Impulse fused with domination. Modern criminology calls this power control motivation, violence used to reclaim identity and superiority. Here's where the case turns disturbing. Guy Georges had already been imprisoned for violent sexual crimes. Yet repeatedly, he was released. Investigators later admitted that fragmented policing and lack of centralized DNA comparison delayed identification. At least one murder occurred while he was on day release from prison. Public outrage followed. Families asked a devastating question. How many deaths were preventable? Years later, Paris Criminal Brigade Chief Martin Monteil acknowledged investigators bypassed legal limits to catch him. Yes, we circumvented the law, the ends justifies the means. The system that failed victims ultimately had to break its own rules to stop him. In March 1998, a manual DNA comparison finally connected multiple crime scenes. The beast suddenly had a name. Georges was arrested near a Paris metro station. Faced with overwhelming forensic proof, he confessed. Then withdrew it. Then confessed again. A psychological pattern common in organized offenders is control even after capture. During the 2001 trial, prosecutor Evelyn Lessier delivered one of the most quoted statements. He is a diabolical personality, the incarnation of evil. After days of denial, Georges finally spoke quietly, almost whispering. He answered yes to each murder charge. Then told the families, I ask forgiveness, from God, if there is one. Moments before sentencing, he added, I will never leave prison. He received life imprisonment, with no parole eligibility for 22 years. Psychological analysis suggests his motive wasn't hatred of women. It was identity. Investigators believed Georges targeted energetic, independent victims whose confidence triggered both attraction and resentment. Violence became control, validation, and self-construction. A tragic convergence of abandonment, institutional neglect, and untreated pathology. The monster wasn't created overnight. It evolved, unnoticed. The Beast of the Bastille wasn't hiding in darkness. He walked freely, because warning signs were ignored. Today, the case reshaped French policing, accelerating national DNA databases and interagency cooperation. 7 lives changed investigative history. And one question still lingers. How many monsters are prevented, simply by listening sooner? If you found this documentary insightful and fact-based, like the video, subscribe, and follow for more true crime investigations explained calmly and responsibly.